McKellar.
Thank you, Mr Deputy Speaker, and I thank the member for Cunningham for her contribution to this debate. I want to firstly start off by apologising to her. It is not our intention to be too critical of the Labor Party. We don't want to get them offside. We certainly want them to understand how we're trying to make Australia better. And indeed, I will personally speak to the front bench to make sure that they stop taking cheap shots and start buying the more expensive shots that they can aim at the Labor Party. Because, Mr Deputy Speaker, this is the type of stuff you get. This is the MPI that you get when you when you've outsourced your MPIs to focus groups for the last 6 years and you can't afford to have a focus group now. They have really— Mr Deputy Speaker, there are bottom drawers in desks that I know of that this MPI has come out of. This is real touching the void stuff. The Labor Party has finally proven today that there is a difference between being watchable and being illuminating, because this is a little ray of pitch black. I mean, they come in here— Oh, sorry, what was that? Oh, yeah, thank you. I was going for that, yeah. So what we have— their arguments have been so thin that it's almost as thin as a homeopathic soup made by boiling the shadow of a pigeon that starved to death. I mean, it's just terrible. I mean, in my own electorate— I mean, if this is government that isn't doing it— in my own electorate, we have a new $1.5 billion hospital. We have a $1 billion road. We have $250 million. We have a $250 million road widening. We have $2 million for a surf lifesaving club. We have $1.5 million for a new clubhouse for Football Association, which I'm informed is not soccer. We have $500,000 for solar panels on golf clubs. We have 62% increase in education funding per student in public schools in my electorate. Everywhere you'll— and Mr Deputy Speaker, we have 2 kids in Terry Hills. We have 2 kids in Terry Hills that now can afford life-saving drugs and will be able to live full lives because of the management of this government and its ability to put life-saving drugs on the PBS. That's what government's about. That's what hope is about. That is what opportunity is about, and that's what government looks like when you're not always asking a focus group how to run your party. I mean, it's just appalling.
Member for
I mean, you should all be ashamed of yourself. So I'm sorry, there I go again being critical of you. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to do that. I mean, this MPI is a blunder so epic it requires an orchestra to introduce it. I mean, you know, one of those orchestras that they had for Star Wars, you know. Anyway, we've also had— we've also had— and what we found is, in the last 6 days, is the reason they want to talk about us is because in the last 5 days we know that the Labor Party is in favour of increased taxes. They're in favour of increased taxes, but they're against drought relief. I mean, it's like an episode of the Vicar of— what was it? Dibley, the Vicar of Dibley. No, yes. See, we were in favour in there. No, yes. And then we had, of course, border security. No. Oh, yeah, look, it's so bad, it's unconstitutional, but yes. So this is what we have from the Labor Party. No ideas, no clues, about to fall in over themselves. Oh, but there is one thing they'll stand up for. They'll stand up for trade union officials who break the law. And anyone watching Sky today who saw the president of the ACTU claiming that unions are the people who stop wage theft, and especially in the restaurant industry, and then she was asked, so what did you guys do around that theft? You know, there were lots of people involved, lots of players involved. We were there, we did something, we saw it happening, but we're told that the workers rang the union and the union didn't return the phone calls. Is that right? Yeah, well, that can happen sometimes. Yeah, that's right. They're very busy. So isn't that why they finally went to the Fair Work Ombudsman, an ombudsman whose budget you cut by 20%? 20%! You guys say you believe in all this stuff, but all you want to do is sound good. You don't actually want to do any good. You don't want to do any good. Well, it's a compare and contrast. When you guys were in government, you did a horrible job. You let debt and deficit. You let an economy that was going down the drain. You did nothing about protecting workers, and you did nothing about lawlessness on Australian work sites, and you're in here still claiming that you're an opposition, but you're not even